Second Nature for Children in the house. Coach, how you doing?
As always, man, great, great. How about yourself?
Coach, I'm doing absolutely great. I just got to say this. You know, every time we do something, especially when the title has something to do with mental illness or mental disorder or something like that,
Uh,
it gets very little views, very little views. We don't want to hear, check out anything dealing with mental disorder, mental issues. A lot of us don't see nothing wrong, and that's one of our biggest problems. Like I stated in an earlier video, man, it's over 200 mental disorders. Over 200 mental disorders. It's something, especially if you're not constantly working on yourself to be the best version of yourself, it's something you're dealing with. It's something you're dealing with. Even during the course of working on yourself, you have to be careful with these different disorders that's out there. And so it really doesn't surprise me anymore when I hear our behavior. I hear our behavior. Instead of just seeing it, I hear it. So when I'm hearing that you going in, and I've been hearing this a lot lately, the men killing the women, the men are killing the women.
mm,
And I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us. I'm not surprised anymore. That mental illness is real. That mental disorder is real, and we need to check some things out. You understand? And then I'm hearing this morning, this guy goes in and shoot up 10 people.
I think Shreveport, Louisiana. I think. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
saw it a few hours ago. Yeah, 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 yeah.
eight of the
Kids,
10
man.
were
Kids, man.
kids.
Kids, man.
So I just want you to just for a second, and we're not
Yeah.
even talking about during the course of just this week, the killings that I was hearing. Us, that disorder is something else, and you have to be careful that now we are really living where if I can't have you, can't nobody have you.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
you understand? It's real serious, and like I
But
said,
that in itself is a disorder, man.
absolutely,
That's in
coach,
itself a disorder. What are you talking about, man?
absolutely, absolutely.
Not only that too, the fact that you are not doing all you can with what you know to be a better version of yourself. Come on, man.
That's a disorder.
Come on. So,
Whether
hey,
it's that's a disorder,
come on, man.
and we don't see it like that. And I'm trying to bring that to our attention that when you get to the point where you don't take care of yourself physically, we think it's common or normal because we're leading in these different health diseases and being overweight or obese. You know, it just has become normal. Are we eating like crazy? We're not paying mind to what we're eating. We're drinking up everything. We're smoking up everything. We think it's normal. It's a disorder that's going on, family, and you need to
Mm.
check on yourself. I just got to put, you need to check on yourself. And I know a lot of it comes history. I understand, but you must get to a point where you become more accountable and responsible for your behavior. You have to get to that point because we all have been through something and still going through something. So
Yeah.
you can't keep using the past. Okay, once you identify, that's why that self-evaluation is so important for you to identify what is wrong. You don't see now that if you're not grooming yourself, if you're not taking a bath, if you're always depressed, if you know, check your get help if you need help. That's the thing too. You think that getting help makes you look weak. No, it could save your life. It could save your life. And it can help you from looking so foolish with a lot, especially now since this social media thing is out, a lot of us looking real foolish out there.
Yeah.
We looking real, we
Yeah.
look, yeah, we looking real foolish.
A lot of people don't realize that they're revealing aspects of themselves that people would never have known.
You
You know,
understand? You
you're
understand?
really exhibiting. I call you idiosyncrasies. I mean, that's you exhibiting. I mean, the world can see it. You can't. You can say that you whatever you can call it, but those who know, like, okay, okay, this could have been handled better than this. So go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
And that once again, that's a disorder where you just putting certain things out. You're not even paying mind to people who's conscious of things. Like I say, they can see and hear your behavior is a disorder. So we need to check ourselves and we need to get help. So I just had to share that, man. Like I said, every time we put a video out on mental health, it gets no views really because people think everything is okay and it's not okay. And we need to begin and it should have been generations of generations long time ago. We needed
Yeah.
to
But
really
I see
address.
it. No views is in my um estimation, in my the way I see things. No views are views to me
Absolutely.
because it's
Absolutely.
showing me where our interest lies. It's not there, and we know we're not all right. So yeah.
And that's why I share with you as a group, us coming together, it won't be no time soon. We won't get it together. If you can't get it together as an individual, then you're not going to group up with anybody and get nothing done because you can't even get yourself together. So that's why when we first started, I was letting you know, because we won't see it in our lifetime. It's too much work that has to be done. And that's why we must reach down to these children and try to change and work our butts off to change the trajectory of how they're growing up and how their perception and perspective and opinion and facts and views and things, we got to work with them, man. The ones that are conscious, we got to work with these kids. They help them out and make sure that everyone go to Facebook, Second Nature for Children, and check out the work that we do with the children in the community and in the after school programs. And so it's a lot of work that has to be done. But Coach, I want to deal with this right here tonight. What happens when the Black daughter is
Mm.
fatherless? I want to talk about that for a moment. I'm gonna let you go in because we did one on the son,
Mm.
and then we came back with some solutions. And this topic here, like I said, a lot of things we could do it as a series, but we're trying to pack
Yeah.
everything in within 30 minutes. But this one here, it has a lot of pieces to it because fatherless can go a lot of different ways. It can go a lot of
True,
different
true,
ways,
true.
and she could have a father. She can have a stepfather. She can have a father in the home. She can have a father outside of the home. But none of those fathers, Coach, mean nothing unless they are nurturing their daughter.
True.
Just because you
True.
have a father. I was in the house with my father. I just want you to understand, it still don't mean nothing if that father was not nurturing you. Because if they are emotionally unavailable to you, then that just was a man in the house. That just was a parent. You
Yeah,
understand? So
I
so
got
so
you.
and we got to make sure that we stay focused on nurturing because that's the problem that we haven't been having with us. Definitely with me coming up, you have to be nurtured, male, female parents. We want both parents. And a lot of us, we didn't get that. A lot of us were shown what was considered love, and that's good, but it still was missing a lot of pieces. Love have to come with a lot of other things too in order for it to be successful. I want people to understand that it takes more than love. It takes more than just that strong liking. I want people to understand that because some people think that it's just love, and it lets you know what we were talking about people getting married. 90% of folks got married because of love, but over 75 got divorced. So you ask, what happened to the love? Something happened to it. So it lets you know it
That's
take
what
more.
they say. They say it was love
They
because
said it
if
was
they'd said
love.
what the truth was,
Mm,
come on, you tell me economics. Some folks know they cannot withstand this life, this especially right now.
mm.
You know, financially they can't withstand it because they're lacking to a certain degree, and
Wow.
they need that person. What are they gonna say that to that person? Well, I'm
Wow.
only doing this because you know what I mean. I need some help financially. Who's gonna say, okay, let's go ahead and do it? Come on, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. And that's why, and we've said on many occasions, speaking on that, that we got to start being honest and we got to start being truthful. And that's what's gonna last. Truth and sometimes telling the truth can split you up though. I'm kind of that kind of just hit me. You mess around and tell the truth,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's better than telling that lie and that truth coming out later. So
Later, yeah, later, yeah,
yeah, it's gonna come out. So even with that daughter, with that father, in that house, if he's emotionally unavailable, it does her no good. So did you also know that it makes her an orphan? I don't know if you knew that.
makes her orphan.
It makes her an orphan because of the permanent abandonment.
Oh, okay, okay, in
Not
that
just see
sense, okay,
people just
yeah, I can
thinking
see
just
it.
because they died, but it makes her, yeah, and you could pull that up. It makes her an orphanage because of the permanent abandonment from her father. And now she develops what they call, I don't know if you ever heard about this. It's called the fatherless daughter syndrome. You, whenever you get a
Oh,
chance.
I experienced that, and I
Okay.
think in all its capacities.
Okay.
But shit, so,
That's okay. That's a true thing, coach. It's called the fatherless
man,
daughter syndrome, and that's out there. And see, like I said, we dealing with things we don't even realize we dealing with because it's a range of psychological and emotional challenges that impacts her life, and a lot of ladies experience this abandonment
yeah,
disorder. That's a disorder, and they don't even understand it because they haven't been diagnosed saying that you have it and don't understand what it really
I got
means.
you. Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I want them to kind of think about it. Wow, am I dealing with an abandonment disorder? Because a lot of times during the course of their life, the absence of a father, the consistent presence can lead to feeling of that abandonment, rejection, low
yeah,
self-esteem, and
yeah,
sometimes having hidden feelings such as a sense of loss. Have you ever dealt with them? Anger, shame, sadness, and anxiety. Yeah, and it's trying to keep those deeper emotions at bay. They trying to control themselves, but eventually it's gonna come out. It's gonna come
yeah,
out.
yeah. They put a from my experience, this one individual just put that so-called hard outer shell,
Mm,
but nah, that's not you. You're not like that. But that's just we call it a defense mechanism, you
absolutely.
know. But like I said, at that time I didn't realize that what it was, because of the father issues, because I never knew it until I think it was a radio show, and this guy called and said he advises his sons not to deal with females who didn't have their dads in their life.
Mm,
And I'm like, what?
mm.
And then I said, well, and then I started to think about folks I've dealt with. I'm like, whoa, I think he got something. And I've never heard about that. Never heard about it, man.
It's serious.
Man, I'm
It's
telling you,
serious. It's
that could
serious.
say a lot of tribulation, man. I'm telling you. I
And
don't
that's
even know. They knew that they were being affected by this, you know. Yeah, man.
and
Eh,
that's
eh, yeah,
and,
he's
and
right.
that's
You're
what
right.
and that's what I'm saying
Yeah,
right now by you saying that
yeah.
a lot of women are feeling some type of way, not understanding because they
And
haven't been diagnosed,
mhm,
but they are dealing with this abandonment
yeah,
disorder. Do you understand? They dealing with it, and what it does a lot of times, I don't know if they understand when they in a low mood, or like I said a little earlier, and when they're in that low mood, what it does, it brings on depression. I just want them to think about that.
mm,
And it causes intimacy struggles to their relationship. Now watch how they
definitely.
it take
Yeah,
it, yeah. And
yeah,
when she haven't healed from that lack of nurturing from her father, that effect bring on these effects. She have
yeah,
tr she have trust issues. Here we go. Think about this, ladies. Think about this, fellas. You may have to go in and let her know that she need to check this out because she has trust issues because she been abandoned by that male and she thinking that that's what you're gonna do. I can't trust you.
Yeah, yeah. And then here's the thing too.
Tell it.
That is compounded by everyday experiences and everyday life. Going on top of that. So you got stuff up on stuff up on stuff. And to unpack that as an individual, come on, man. First of all, you gotta embrace it for what it is. You gotta know that's what it is. And what if you don't want to face it? And you
Don't
figure I'm gonna go through life like that, then we have what we have, you know?
and by you saying compound, packing it on. That's why I just stated. If she haven't healed from it, so
Yeah.
she's carrying that, and now she's finna go into this relationship. That relationship is getting ready to be crazy. So here comes some more stuff she packing on top of that. It's
Mm-hmm.
getting ready to be crazy. And watch this one right here. Watch this one right here. She found herself searching for love in all the wrong places. I
Dark
know.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, when that father is not there, she found herself searching and yearning for that male love, but she looking for it in all the wrong places, and she's willing to put up with abuse, verbal and physical. Hmm,
Yeah.
hmm, hmm,
Yeah. And then
hmm,
uh
hmm.
let me just say this.
Say it.
Um the particular individual I'm talking about, I'm gonna call no name. That was in um DC, Virginia, Maryland area. She had gotten a divorce, right? So I told her the issue she had was, because of the tumultuous, relationship, the
Hmm.
divorce. Now that's what I told. And then later on, as I get to know her, that's what she expressed. Her dad, it won't have nothing to do with her.
Hmm.
Nothing. I'm talking about since she was a child, since she know herself, man.
This thing is
But
serious.
like I said, at that time, I didn't know the effects of that. I'm still learning myself, still learning my life. And that's when I heard it in talk radio. The guy said it. And that triggered something. And then I started reflecting, I'm like, is that really true? I'm like, whoa,
It's
wait a
serious.
minute. He might be onto something.
It's serious.
And man,
A lot of our ladies are dealing with it right
man,
now and don't realize it.
mm,
That's what they dealing with. And they always trying to please to be accepted regardless on how he's treating you. I just want them to hear this.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Send, please share this with the ladies. And without that guidance and nurturing from her father, she has no standards a lot of times. Mm. Standards are just thrown out the window because she's trying to get that validation from that male.
It's funny. Well, not funny, but it triggers a phrase. I remember her saying, flavor of the month. That was her phrase.
Ain't that some?
And you can take it how you want to take. That was her phrase. So if she see this, she know what I'm
That's
talking
crazy.
about. Huh?
That's
That's
crazy.
that was her phrase. Flavor of the month.
But that's
Flavor. I
reality.
said, huh?
She got
So
to
wow,
face it. Yeah, she got to face that reality though. Because when they're
wow.
yearning for that male love, man, they willing to do anything to be accepted. That's a problem. They willing
I
to do
mean, yeah,
anything.
I'm talking about real great individual, man. But that right there, like I said, I didn't know at the time, but that right there, that was a flaw right there. That was something right there, man.
Yeah, great people have
Yeah,
disorders as
yeah,
well. You
yeah,
understand?
yeah,
They can be
yeah.
good people.
Yeah.
You and to really think about it, I could say so many of us are good people. But when it come down to that disorder or certain behavior where we need to check ourselves, we won't accept that responsibility and that
Well, let me
accountability.
just ask this while we saying, because that just crossed my mind. Is it that some of us just don't know, or is it that some of us just ignore it?
I think it's both, coach. I think when I say not understanding, I think that's us not knowing. When I say we
Okay,
just, yeah, I
okay.
think that's what, and I think some of us know, just like you know he's abusive, you know he's this, you know he's that, but you just putting up with it. You understand? You just putting up with it. You know what I'm saying? Because of that low self-esteem you have. Remember I said earlier, when you're dealing with that, a lot of times it can make you have low self-esteem. So you'll find yourself putting up with stuff that you really shouldn't be putting up
Put
with.
up with it.
But your self-esteem so low, and then if you messing around here and you're not taking care of yourself physically, and you seeing all
Mm.
these other women, you understand, who's taking care of themselves physically, and then now that'll give you an insecurity. There's another disorder. You could be insecure. You need to take care. You need, as an individual. Well, that's why I always teach about the mind, the body, the soul. You need to break away as an individual and make sure that you always take care of your mind, your body, and your soul as an individual. I'm talking about hooking up with somebody. You could be hooking up with somebody. That Negro could be just as sick as you are.
Worse,
Our words. So,
worse
but
than
but
you.
but I want you
Mm.
to understand that that's what you're seeing in our community, though. So people can stop with the what's going on and what's going on. Yeah, we as individuals, we need to get ourselves together. That's what's going on. We're not together, and we really don't understand what love is. That's one of the biggest problems. We've been using that word for so long, but we really don't understand what it is. And we'll take what's abnormal behavior and call it love. How you come over and you beating me and you slashing my tires and you breaking my windows, talking about you doing it in the name of love. Coach, I want you to understand folks are saying that now.
Keep that love over
Keep,
there. I don't need. I'm
keep
good.
that love over there. I want you to
Mm.
understand people are doing that because she don't want to be abandoned or left alone. So she's willing to put up with anything, coach. And when that father's not there to do his part, and we got to do better as men, in nurturing, like I said a little earlier, and I want you to go here with me. Imagine two people coming together in an intimate relationship, and both have been affected by that father's abandonment.
Mm.
Coach, I just want to share with you that's what you're seeing. That's why you're seeing, and one of the biggest reasons that we're having so many toxic relationships, because mental disorder is running into mental issues. I just want you to get that for a
Mm.
second. I want everybody to share this right here. And I'm sharing with you, and you show me where I'm wrong. I'm sharing with you that one of the biggest issues that we're having in our relationships is because mental disorder is connecting with mental issues. That's what's going on, coach. Coach, that's what's going on. Research shows that daughters with an absent father tend to engage in more earlier sexual activity. Now here come the babies. Now here come the
Um,
babies dealing with her disorder, his disorder. Now you having sex at a young age. Here we go. Here you come bringing in a child or offspring into this mental disorder and this mental illness that's not ready for 18 to 21 years, like I always say, of the responsibility of this offspring. Coach, why you think our children wilding out? It's
Shit,
simple.
they came right into it, man. They.
Why do you think
Mm.
our children? I'm so sick of people asking me because I work with children. Why do you think the children this? Why do you think the children that? This shit is this simple. When you get to meet a lot of their parents wasn't ready to be nurturers, wasn't ready. So that's what you get when you're not ready to nurture a offspring. It's simple, family. And then here it is where I bring in an organization to say, hey, I see what's going on, but I need your support to help me push this organization. Now we want finance. It takes finance to run an organization. Now we'll ask about something like we got concern, but then when I say, hey, let's come together and help the organization, then now we'll shit. We go the other way. So how we gonna fix it?
Mm.
And that's what I'm trying to teach. See, I'm experiencing this and living this in real time. We're not getting ready to do nothing as a people. I don't care who get mad. Show me something different. Care about you getting mad. That's the problem. Our feelings and emotions, that's the problem. We're not an action people. We can get mad so we don't have to do nothing. So I can say
Yeah.
that, do you? I can say that, oh
Yeah. Yeah.
shit, the hell, I ain't studying that shit. Cause now I'm acting like I'm mad at you, so I can go the other way, so I don't have to do nothing.
Do
You
anything.
you see how we use that? So when we dealing with that, and we see that when that father, like I said a little bit, is absent, they engage in more earlier sexual activity, and that causes a higher risk. I don't know if you ever pulled up the CDC and looked at the diseases that are going around right now. It's to the roof. I had to pull that percentage up. It's to the
I know
roof.
some areas I've seen some areas pop up and see
It's
you
to the
talking about
roof.
sexual transmitted diseases?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Houston all the chain. I see that. I see, yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
It's off
yeah,
the chain. And then
yeah.
it brings on, like I was just saying, that unexpected pregnancy. And then it brings on mental health issues. Because there you go. When you said a little earlier, you already got this issue. Now you can brought a baby into the equation. You just compound it.
Yeah.
Now Hegan left, you just compound it. Now you
You
don't have a
can't.
job.
Yeah.
You just keep packing it on.
You can say it's his fault all it won't, but it take two to tango. Your fault too.
It
It's
take
both
two.
of y'all fault, man.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. And when they struggle with their self-worth, they tend to make poor choices.
That's human beings.
And
That's human beings.
what happened to the young lady is it gives her a negative perception of men. They ain't this, they ain't that, they ain't this, they ain't
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
she's not realizing, just like you just said, baby, that's who you got with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who you got with. And you can't put all men in the same boat just because you have that perception of men.
But that's what's going on. Been going on. I think it's more so now than ever before. You know, I just shrug my shoulders and keep moving because I man, hey man, you talking about who you dealt with, your experiences. You ain't talking about me, so hey, I don't bother me. You know what I mean?
And so when you think about that, coach, when you think about what happens to them when they're fatherless, when how important you think, or what else do you have to say about when that girl doesn't have that nurturing? I ain't talking about just daddy or father. He was in the house or he was around. He came over. He said, I'm talking about when it's a difference, and we got to address that, and we got to keep pushing that. That it's a different than just being a mama and a daddy. Then you have to nurture those children and nurture your offspring. What you think about?
You know what? I never really until now, well, not until now, but until maybe a few years ago. And thank God that I'm thankful that I'm always looking to be a better individual. Because personally, I feel if I wasn't looking to be a better individual, man, that wouldn't even cross my path. You know, even if it crossed my path, I want to give it no thought. You know, constant reflection would unearth things that you didn't realize was there. You know what I mean? And I really started examining females I've dealt with. I've talked with one individual, but I start examining other females. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's
Mm,
her father was no life.
mm,
Wow.
mm,
Wow. So it's like an eye opener for me. you know. So I'm saying point blank, and we talking about people over 40.
Absolutely.
We talking
Absolutely.
people up there now. So
Absolutely.
if you didn't have your family in life and you don't know that it has a negative impact on your life, I can't deal with you. I can understand if you know, you realize it, and you're working on it. Okay, fine. But if you want to shut it off, like you know what I mean? Hey, no, I can't do that
Wow.
because I know where that coming. If I knew then what I knew now, like people
Right.
normally say,
Right. Absolutely.
man, no, I'd have gone the other direction. But now I know I got to embrace it for what it is because when I reflect on a few individuals, that's what it was. But I didn't know then. It's that serious. And I know this day and age, we feel we so advanced, we brush it aside. No, man, that's for real. If
Man,
you're a grown woman or a grown man and you can't shake the effects, that the lack of parenting, ill effects on you, on your life, lack of parenting, and you over 40, then and 50, come on, man. It's a real thing.
it's real.
It's a real thing.
It's real.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? What are
It's,
you gonna you got come on, you gonna live the rest of your life like that?
it's
Really?
real. It's
Okay,
real.
that's on you.
It's real, coach. And I hope that this video, man, and the one we did about the father and the son, really all of them to be honest, but this you can share this with the ladies, hit the like so it can move through the algorithm because we have to move this information. Our people need to hear this because a lot of us we haven't thought about this, man. And this it's trauma. It's trauma, believe
Mm-hmm.
me, and it leads to self-destructive behavior. When you seeing this behavior, man, substance abuse, and just willing to do anything to fill that void, of a nurturing father, man, we in trouble. We got to start addressing that. Damn, I might have an issue. So you ain't got to sit right now and go talk to nobody about it. Do a self-evaluation and kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
analyze your
yeah,
own
yeah.
life. Yeah,
You
you
know
ain't
your
got
life.
you
You know your
right.
life. Sit down,
Uh,
yeah.
And you old
Sit down
enough.
by yourself and reflect, you know.
That's all you
Then
got to do.
reflect on your relationships and how what went wrong, what you did. Just be honest with yourself, man. That's where it starts.
Especially
Evolving, if that's what you want to do now.
right, right,
If
right,
that's what
right.
you want.
And that's the problem. A lot of us, we don't see nothing wrong. That's the problem. A lot of us don't
Yeah.
see nothing wrong. Like I said, a lot of us don't want to be accountable. A lot of us don't want to be accountable, but we got to start, and you got to remember this. Everything starts from your mental state. Everything starts from your mental state. Everything starts from your computer. Everything starts from your mental state,
Yeah.
your decisions, your decision making. It doesn't start from within you. It doesn't start from your spirit. Something have to click up here first. Something have to click up here first, and that's your mental state. Some we
Let me
haven't
let me let me
addressed.
just ask this
Go
too.
ahead on.
I think I think it's more devastating to the females, man, than to the males,
Mm,
you know. Because as a male, maybe the way we wired or the way society see us, hey man, you gotta shrug it off and keep moving. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I can see a guy saying, hey man, okay, I gotta shrug it off and keep going, you know. Even though there's still a little effect there, dad not being
mm,
there. But I feel a female, I think that'd be tough on a female,
mm.
you know. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Because she's facing so many other things, especially um, she need to be married at a certain time. She need to have children at a certain time. You understand what I'm saying? So when
Yeah,
these things are not happening fast enough because of the Western society can say this what you need to do by this time, now she feel like her back against the wall and she's ready to just do anything to try to fulfill this list that she's supposed to
I
be,
got you. Yeah, yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely I feel that more is on her trying to hell can please trying to please mama too. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I can hear, gal, you ought to have a man by now, girl. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Man, they need to shelve that nonsense for real, real, man.
So that's what. So they
Yep.
dealing with that. Why they think is always why you don't have no children by now? Why you don't have no husband? Why this? And just putting that pressure on them.
Yeah.
They not ready for that. They're not ready. You understand? So now she'll find herself doing something just to try to keep some of the chatter down, not knowing that during the course of that year or the next year, whenever, they still gonna talk about you because when that marriage go crazy, they gonna talk about
There you
you.
go.
When them kids start,
Yeah.
so you gonna be talked about. So the thing is, like Coach said earlier, do that self-evaluation. Do not let nobody push you into no mess that you know you're not ready for.
Ready for it. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And as a matter of fact, the people who be telling you that mess, shit, take a look at their life. Just,
Hey, yeah, yep.
just,
If you really want to know about an individual, just a snapshot. Just take a snapshot of their life, where they are presently. And I
just,
know stuff happens. I get that.
yeah,
But come
yeah,
on now. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. So
You know.
I definitely think more is on that sister, man. So I
Wow.
just hope that, she could take that once again, that self-evaluation, and don't let pressure, society, girlfriends, parents push her into doing something that she's not ready to do. And knowing that she has things that she need to work on, especially if that father wasn't there. And this guy you trying to meet, you don't understand his background, how mentally damaged he could be. So that's why I said we just got to take our time right now, and work on not bringing no more children. Work on not bringing no more children. You can see y'all grown folk can do whatever you want to do, but right now, work
Mm,
on not bringing no more children unless you're ready to give up 18 to 21 years and give both of y'all stay together and raise those children. Raise those children. 'Cause we see that you are not staying together and not raising them. What's happening? We see that. So if you're
yeah.
not nurturing those children, don't have them. I'm gonna leave it right there, coach. It's just 2 minutes left. I'm done.
Man, even if you don't agree with the things we're saying, I know that a lot of the things we're talking about that would shape the questions you should ask an individual that you're interested in. And if you don't ask them questions, then you can't blame nobody but yourself.
Mm,
You know what I mean? There's certain things you should know about this individual. Certain things, especially about this aspect of, not have a female not having a father, that can show you what kind of shape her, into who she is right now. And if she does she know it affects her? Is she willing to work on that? Even the same thing with a guy. You know what I mean? So if that's what you're pursuing as a relationship, man, someone in a relationship, ask appropriate questions, man. Not how much money you make and all. Yeah, that's important. But come on, man. That's with your parents in life, your dad in your life. You know what I mean? So you can get an
absolutely.
idea who you're dealing with. Because
Absolutely.
trust me, you need to, man. That's all I can tell you. So take care, y'all. Be safe out there, man.
Until the next time, coach, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, man.